Today's short is being brought to you by Goya Foods. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Your daily game plan for success. It's Sachs in the Morning. Steve Sachs.
Hi, Steve Sachs here with Sachs in the Morning. How's everybody doing today? It's a beautiful day. And today we're going to talk about some goal setting, which is always a good thing to do. Found this in Inc. magazine. Scott Mautz, M-A-U-T-Z, wrote this. And you guys all know that I love Inc. magazine. Been around a long time. It's got some good stuff in there. And we were going to talk a little bit about some goal setting. How about for the next decade? That's right. There's this article that's in Inc. that has the 11 questions to help you set meaningful goals for the next decade. Okay, that's quite a while. We're not going to go that deep into this. So I picked out the top 5, and I want to share these with you that I really like. Number 1 is, it says, what are the tempting parking spaces to avoid? I agree with that completely. Life is dotted with so many tempting parking spaces, safe places to pull into and put it in park. For years, people do this, okay? So what are the patterns you keep getting caught in? And what are the traps that could derail you from what you really want to accomplish? Now, for some people, it's coasting through another span of years in corporate, or people that are in college forever. For others, it might be sticking around in an industry that bores you but pays well. Whatever it might be, you got to get out of neutral, put the darn thing in drive, and set your goals accordingly. I got some friends that they're always in class. They're always taking a lesson. They're always hiring a coach. And those things are great. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes you just got to go out and do it and fail and succeed and go through the process of 2 steps up, 1 back, and until you master something. Remember, it takes 10,000 hours to be really great or an expert at anything. Sometimes you got to just get moving, keep in motion, and don't be afraid. Go ahead, fail if you have to. But Teddy Roosevelt said this, and this is one thing I like about Teddy Roosevelt. He said, the best thing you can do is the right thing. Next best thing you can do is the wrong thing. And the worst thing that you can do is nothing. All right, so got to get moving. The second thing that I really like in this article says, how can I live a life true to myself and my values and not the life others expect of me? Man, do I agree with that. This is a top regret of the dying, according to a palliative nurse turned author, Bonnie Ware. You don't want to look back 10 years from now, she said, and have the feeling that you've lived someone else's story. Might be a big goal for you to live your own, and couldn't agree with that more. Number 3, what's the difference between a good and a great next year or decade? Now, the danger in setting goals is not that we aim too high and fail, but that we aim too low and we actually strike the mark. You have a chance now to reset that bar on what you accomplish and the happiness you create. Ask yourself what a good year or decade looks like and what a great one looks like. Set those goals that move you towards the latter and ask yourself, if I knew I couldn't fail, what would I try? Greatness often lies in that answer. And number 4, what deeds need doing? The goal-setting questions force you to consider your cause. What things simply must be done at work or in life that would gnaw at you or your cause or your values if they weren't accomplished? A meaningful goal doesn't arise, right? So got something you need to do, please, you got to get that done because time keeps marching on. And the last one, what part of me hasn't shown up in my life yet? I believe this, folks, so much because you're going to get one shot. If there's something about you that you've been wanting to explore or put on display, goal setting time is a time to put those wheels in motion. You know, I have a friend of mine, and he's always talking about something he wants to do in his life, how he wants to make a change. He wants to quit his job and move on to something else. And he's been saying this for a long time, but he never does anything about it. And so I'm constantly telling him, you know, nothing's going to change unless you go ahead and quit and move on. Even if you quit that job that you hate and you move on to something in the short time afterwards and it doesn't work out, it's still the right thing to do because eventually you're going to find the place you want to be, and that's going to make it all worthwhile. But taking that initial step is the first place you're going to go to being where you want to be and being happy and successful. But man, make that move. And that's my short for today. If you like what you heard, give us a positive review, subscribe, and share. Also, remember that the Sax in the Morning swag is now available on my Instagram site. Go to saxinthemorning_podcast. You'll see it right there on the Instagram, and just hit the link. Everything's there. Mugs, hats, tumblers, you name it. Take advantage of it. And thanks to Al Hendrickson Toyota for their support of this podcast. And be sure to visit alhendricksontoyota.com.